Partha Labante Yuddhamidrasham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. As supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell. Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty. For a Kshatriya to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fools. In the Parashara Smriti, or religious codes made by Parashara, the great sage and father of Vyasadeva, it is stated, Kshatriyo hi prajarakshan shastrapani pradandayan nirjitya parasainyadi shitim dharmena palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties, and for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. Considering all aspects, Arjuna has no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and if he should die in the battle, he would be elevated to the heavenly planets, whose doors were wide open to him. Fighting would be for his benefit in either case. Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा. Thank you so much, devotees, for the opportunity to share Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 32. So, as we started our discussion yesterday, here Krishna is telling Arjuna that it is important that he does his duty as a Kshatriya, which is that of fighting. So, externally, it will look like violence is bad, but in this situation, based on time, place, and circumstances, though ahimsa or non-violence and not hurting others is important doctrine. In this situation, fighting is the right activity to do, and we can get to know what is right and what is wrong only by consulting with the higher authority. And Arjuna has clearly surrendered to the Lord and asking him for how he should conduct his life at this point. Though by himself he feels he shouldn't fight, Krishna is instructing him that this notion of not wanting to fight in the battlefield is a fool's philosophy, because the very nature of Kshatriyas and their duty is to fight and protect their citizens. In today's world, something analogous would be, because of the degradation of society, if there are terrorists coming to attack your family and you say, sorry, I'm just going to go to the forest and chant my rounds. So in that situation, the higher philosophy is to protect the family from the bad people who are coming to attack the family. So here Arjuna saying that he doesn't want to fight because it will cause a lot of bloodshed. Krishna is telling him clearly that in this situation, it is the higher principle is to fight and protect the citizens of Hastinapur and the world, because the the rulers are corrupt, and having the bad rulers will cause the society to go in a bad direction, because the leaders set the standards that the citizens will follow. So Krishna is clearly stating that fighting in the battlefield and doing the duty is the higher principle here. So for all of us, we our mind can concoct a philosophy that we think is perfect, but we need the mercy of our spiritual master to show us the right direction, to light up the path, because we are just groping in the darkness thinking we are doing the right thing. So only with the light of knowledge do we know exactly what we need to do. It's just like when we lose power wherever we are staying, we start searching for things, and only with the light we can understand exactly where to go and what to do next. So similarly, we need the light of the knowledge coming from our spiritual master to light up our path, because there are so many paths, and our mind can act like our enemy and take us in the wrong direction. And this human life that we have all fortunately got is very precious. Every second is so precious, because we we can leave our body at any time, and we won't get this opportunity to make the right choice. A person in the deathbed can't roll back time, or pay anything, any amount of material things for a few more seconds or a few more hours. So this time that we have when we have a healthy body, it's very precious, and we need to use that in the right way possible, and that we can get only by getting the mercy of our spiritual master to know what exactly we need to do. And Arjuna is getting that instruction from his guru, Krishna himself. We are all having a guru or a mentor, and getting that instruction from our mentor or guru is most important, so that we can find the right path. So this verse teaches us that we need to discuss our situation whenever we are in in a in a circumstance where we have to make a decision. We should always consult with the higher authority if this is the right decision, because we have many blind spots. It's just like many blindfolded people are asked to feel an elephant. One person was standing by the foot of the elephant. So he said, "Oh, the elephant has big pillar. Elephant is a big pillar with semicircles at the bottom." And then another person said, "Oh, elephant is like a snake. It is able to twist and turn." So this person was standing by the trunk of the elephant. Another person was by the tail, and he said, "Oh, the elephant is a brush." So, so each person, depending on where they are seeing some partial truths about the elephant, but not understanding the true big picture. And that can be revealed to us only if we take out the the veil of ignorance that is covering our eyes. And that can be done only by a spiritual authority who is coming in disciplic succession, can be traced back to Krishna. So Krishna is so merciful that even though he's not physically present in front of us, giving us instructions like he's giving Arjuna right now, he has given us this Guru Parampara that's coming all the way from Krishna. So our Guru is the representative of Krishna, and we should treat him as we treat Krishna. Just as in the Guru Ashtakam every morning, we sing some Saradava prayers. So for us, Guru is Krishna giving us the right instructions, because Krishna would tell us the same thing. So having a higher authority who is connected all the way to Krishna through the Guru Parampara is a great fortune one can have. And we are having the same facilities that Arjuna had when he was in a situation where he was fully confused and not knowing what to do. And he was going down the wrong path based on his mind telling him what was wrong and making him think that that was the right decision to surrender his weapon and go to the forest. So we should take the best. We should take this opportunity to approach a higher authority, a Shiksha Guru. Very often our Diksha Guru is not available because they have hundreds and thousands. So if you do of disciples, if you divide the day to number of seconds, uh, it is still number of seconds is less than the number of devotees they have. So it is impossible in the material circumstances for them to even spend 1 second per disciple. So we all need an instructing spiritual master so that we can share our heart and get instructions just like Arjuna is right now. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada, he has built a home where there are different levels of devotees. And even though we don't have our Diksha Guru available for us every second of the day, he has given us these Shiksha Gurus to instruct us in the right way to conduct our life and make the best decision to move forward. We see here in the bhajan that we sang today, O He Vaishnava Thakura, the great exalted Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he himself is surrendering to his spiritual master, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. In utmost surrender, he is saying all he wants is to follow the footsteps of the spiritual master. And the way to show your allegiance to the Guru is by following his instructions. So, our spiritual masters, even though they are very busy, they take so much time to give us their instructions. So since they can't spend one-on-one time, they invest so much of their energy in the lectures and kirtan, so that we are inspired to continue our devotional practices. So the way we can serve our spiritual master is by following his instructions, and also, taking counsel from his representative, the Shiksha Guru, who will guide us in the right path. So in this situation, we know Arjuna is an exalted devotee. His position of love for Krishna is that of Sakyam, meaning in friendship. He has always been by Krishna's side, but this veil of ignorance has come to him just so that he can pass on this information to us. So, being in a situation that all of us are in, he is able to ask the questions and get answers from Krishna. And we can take the analogy of interview that we see on TV or on any media, where the interviewer himself may be a doctor and he's interviewing another expert doctor, but he's asking basic questions even though he knows the answer. He's asking those questions to the expert to get the answer and help the audience understand. So similarly, Arjuna here during this episode is coming down to a point where his knowledge and love for Krishna, his pure bhakti is covered, so that he takes a low position, and his mind is taking him in a direction where he doesn't want to fight. So that all of us can be benefited. And Krishna uses his pure devotees as instruments to help the society at large. We know how much trouble the Pandavas had to go through. So we might say, oh, he's a pure devotee, so he's in bliss. But externally, if you look at the Pandavas' life, they had to go through a lot of trouble. While in their childhood itself, their father passed away, and they were taken care by their mother Kunti, and everybody were envious of the Pandavas, especially the Kauravas headed by Duryodhan, and their father Dhritarashtra was envious of Pandu, his own brother, because Pandu became the king and Dhritarashtra was not made the king. So he was always envious of his brother. And then that envy was passed on to his sons, the Kauravas also. They were so envious of the Pandavas. These wonderful devotees when Kunti Maharani is a great devotee of the Lord, but the amount of hardships they had to go through. Their brother Bhima was poisoned, given a poisonous cake because they exploited Bhima's liking for food and invited him to eat food that was poisoned, and he was thrown to under the water so that he would die. However, he came out stronger because Krishna is always by the side of his devotees, and there were snakes that pulled the venom out of Bhima, and the uh, the head of the snakes in the snake world gave him the power of 10,000 elephants. So the every hardship they were having were actually a blessing from Krishna to become stronger. They were they were asked to go on vacation, and they were given a palace made of wax, and the idea was to burn them while they were sleeping. However, the Lord again arranged for them to escape before it burned down to ashes. And they were living in hiding for a few months, and that's when they met Draupadi and married Draupadi. So Krishna was arranging for the very best things in their life, though they were going through so many hardships. So for a surrendered devotee, we shouldn't look at the externals because every situation is getting them closer to Krishna. So Krishna is also explaining that in this verse. If you fight, and that's what you should do, that's the right thing to do. There are two things that can happen, that you can either win the war or you can lose your life here. And both are very favorable. If you win the war, you you will get the a whole world that you can rule in a righteous way. If you lose your life in the war, Kshatriyas go to the heavenly planets. So because they did their duty well, their duty is to fight. But if a person just runs away from battle, that is totally opposite for what a Kshatriya should do. So that will only take him to a hellish world because he gave up his duty when it was most required. So the Lord is convincing Arjuna that the right thing he needs to do is to fight the war. And similarly, we all need to fight Maya, and we cannot escape. There are people who escape by committing suicide, and their situation is so downtrodden. They lose their physical body, but their subtle body is that's covering the soul is suffering. Without a body, just imagine all the thoughts. Our intelligent ego and mind are with us, even if we lose this body, and we are just in a situation that we want to do a lot, but we don't have the means to do it, and we are suffering so much. So that's a kind of escapism that people think they can do in a material situation that is very challenging, but that brings a lot of misery. So escaping like that is not recommended. So similarly, Krishna is telling Arjuna it'll be spiritual suicide if he does not fight. And the mind can keep telling us that that's the best thing to do because the mind can be our greatest friend or our greatest enemy. So, to conclude what we have discussed today, it's very important to reach out to our higher authority, to understand our blind spots and take the right decision, because we by ourselves can be just a person with eyes tied. Or another analogy is, we are all jaundiced and we see everything yellow, and we think the whole world is yellow because our eyes are saying that. But in a jaundiced condition, you are seeing the wrong image. The right image is, there are different shades and colors and hues, but because of our disease, our eyes is making us think that everything is yellow. So the best opportunity is to take the medicine. The medicine might feel like it is very bitter, but once we take the medicine, it's said that sugarcane juice is very healing for jaundice, and because of the situation of jaundice, the tongue makes it feel very, very bitter. But actually, it's the sweetest thing. If you don't have jaundice, it's very nice to drink sugarcane juice. It's very, very sweet. But due to our condition, we feel that our instructions of our spiritual master is very bitter. Why should we chant the holy names of the Lord? It's just a waste of time. Why should we wake up in the morning? It's better to give rest to the body. So all this, the mind, if it's telling us not to do or follow the instruction of spiritual master, and saying it's very difficult and tough and very caustic to us, that is because of our material consciousness and disease condition. But once we get the taste back, then we understand that this is the sweetest thing to associate with devotees, to discuss about Krishna, and to chant his holy names. It's the greatest privilege we have been given, and we can do this with enthusiasm and taste, and um, a- and and be total, get the blessings of Krishna, because it's coming through our spiritual master. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much for patiently hearing what I could recollect what I've heard. I'm just a parrot trying to repeat with my not so perfect memory what I've heard, and I may have made mistakes. So please correct me if I did, and please add any of your thoughts and comments so that we can all learn together. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful bhajan, Prabhuji, we have Vaishnava Thakur. And Prabhuji, from your discussion, my takeaway is like I should not avoid or neglect my prescribed duties, as Krishna taught Arjuna that it's very important to do your prescribed duties. You cannot avoid, or you cannot say no, I cannot. So, and in Grihastha life, Prabhuji, so it is so important also have to do the duties for our family members, and because they are all the children of Krishna, and so but we have to keep everything to the lotus feet of the Lord, and always surrender to the Guru. And as you said, like always, I have to check with the senior authority whether I'm doing it right way or going towards other direction. It's always check. Always it's important in this path to connect with Shiksha Gurus, senior devotees, and make sure that what I am doing is I'm doing in the right way and going in a right path, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much, Vasudhi Mataji, for summarizing this verse very nicely, and uh, and always following and doing our duties as a father or mother or a husband or wife. We have duties, and we have to do our prescribed duties. And you brought up the wonderful point that we have to do it in service of the Lord, because even karma kantis and fruitive workers, they're all doing the same thing, but it's all about the consciousness. Are we doing it for our selfish needs, or are we doing it as service to Krishna? So, although externally taking care of children and spouse may look very ordinary, but if we are thinking of them as children of Krishna and serving Krishna by serving them, all we need is to change the attitude and mindset, and it becomes an act of Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much for that wonderful point, Vaswati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavat Pranam, dear devotees. Thank you so much, Vamsi Vilas Prabhuji, for giving us this wonderful lecture and reminders. I just wanted to make one small comment with my limited knowledge. You mentioned today that it's difficult to access the Diksha Guru all the time because he's or she's so very busy. But we can access our gurus in today's world through the digital medium like YouTube. We can listen to our gurus' lectures and different gurus' lectures. So I just wanted to mention that because we all know that, but as a reminder, we can keep in touch with the guru through that medium. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for your commitment every day and giving us wonderful lectures and bhajans. We're forever grateful, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rame Pran Prabhuji. You're you're such a wonderful Vaishnava, and we take inspiration from you and your very practical examples and of how we can follow, because we should use technology as Yukta Vairagya. Everything that we have in our midst, it is coming from Krishna. If it is giving us the right information, so so the facilities like YouTube and other online media where we can listen to lectures of our Guru Maharaj is very beneficial and very purifying. This media wasn't there many years back. Similarly, during Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's time, there were no printed books because printing was not invented during that time. So similarly, at that time, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said that we should distribute books so that everybody can read the literature, and that's still true. So, based on the time and the facilities available to us, we should use all of that to gain more knowledge and understand what our Guru Maharaj is saying. So, thank you for that wonderful point, Prabhuji, because they invest a lot in their lectures and their kirtan and their counsel to other devotees. So, if we can get a hold of what they're saying, because what they're saying is what Krishna wants us to do. So thank you for that wonderful point. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandanam, Krishna Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful bhajan and the gist of the shloka we read. Every day you're giving us insights. So, Prabhuji, I was thinking about it like when you said, people, if we are blind, just touching the elephant in different parts, we think it is different. So, even though we are not blind, because of our imperfect senses, and if we are not following the Guru Sadhu Shastra, then we are uh, blind persons. The song you wonderfully, the O Vaishnava Thakura, it says that, give me the shade of your lotus feet to purify me. So, as we know, we have the passions, 6 passions, and we have the 6 faults, and with seeking the 6 qualities. So, without Guru Sadhu Shastra, it is very difficult. Only with Guru's mercy, we can get the strength to take up this holy name. And like in this material world, everybody has this the 6 faults of attachment, overeating, inability of the regulative principles, sense gratification, the gossip nature, impure habits. Even though we try to be pure, but sometimes we have. So, as you mentioned, we have to, in the association of devotees and Guru Sadhu Shastra, we have to acquire these 6 positive qualities to attain firm faith in the devotional service. We have to have every day a strong desire to attain the prema bhakti, and try to do as much seva as possible. We have to, at least on a daily basis, we have to see what seva we are able to render to the devotees, and of course Krishna, and offering the bhoga, of course, all are there. But we should have a strong desire to attain the prema bhakti. Of course, I'm talking for myself. I'm chanting, but I don't have that prema bhakti attitude. But hopefully, over a period of time, I'm hoping that will develop. And try to avoid non-devotees as much as possible, because sometimes association with I mean, of course we can give association, but we should not take association, and try to have as much association with the devotees, so that will improve our bhakti, our prema bhakti. So these things will definitely help. And of course, always taking Mahaprasadam and offering prasadam to the devotees, loving exchange of gifts with the devotees will definitely help, Prabhuji. That's my message. Hare Krishna.
Hey, Krishna. Sabula Gopal Prabhuji, thank you for summarizing that wonderful bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur about 6 favorable ways and the 6 shortcomings that we have. And you gave such practical references of how we can associate the following the ABCD that you usually tell us. So thank you so much for drawing the essence of the Vaishnava Bhajan and reiterating that, because we need to hear this over and over, else we forget. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is clearly telling us the right ways to conduct our life, all summarized in that small bhajan. So much of nectar is hidden in there. And only when we read the purport we understand about this knowledge of the 6 features of different things. And you wonderfully summarized that for us. Thank you so much, Sabula Gopal Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to voice any of their thoughts at this point, or share anything from your heart, or corrections or questions? Is there anything else to discuss?
Hare Krishna, I'd like to say something.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, like about the guru thing and stuff like that. I was reading, the books and everything for a long time, and even though I resonate with it and feel for it and I follow the path and everything. Somebody mentioned in another class, it's like, sometimes you go down and then you come back and then like you'll always find your way back in a type of way. Um, so just these classes have really, really helped and kind of given me that push and more understanding of just this following and everything like that. And I'm just very grateful for being a part of it and trying to understand as much as I can. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Nick Prabhuji. Thank you so much for telling us why it's important to hear every day and have this practice of discussing about the Lord. And if we, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra all directs us, but with the opportunity to associate with devotees and discuss, we get so many practical points of how to follow those instructions, because some of them is very difficult to comprehend and imbibe in our time, place, and circumstance. So with discussion, we can see how the instructions can be followed in the right way. Thank you so much for bringing that point. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Okay, if not, we can conclude the call today with Prem Dhoni prayers. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajacharya Ashtottara Shata Abhay Charanaravinda His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parvijacharya Ashtottara Shata His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Aneka Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो
Jai.
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री
Jai.
श्री
Jai.
राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय।
Jai.
वृंदावन धाम की जय।
Jai.
मायापुर धाम की जय।
Jai.
जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय।
Jai.
गंगा माई की जय।
Jai.
यमुना माई की जय।
Jai.
भक्ति देवी की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
तुलसी देवी की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि
Hari
हरि
Hari
Hare
बोल।
Krishna.
Bol.
All glories to assembled devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna. All
Krishna.
glories to assembled devotees. Hare
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 Krishna.
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 All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare
All
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Budale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadharine Vancha Kalpatarupascha Kripa Sindhupi Evacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha अनेक कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील गुरु महाराज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
जय
Jai.
Have a wonderful day, dear devotees. Happy Tuesday. I'm traveling to Chicago next 3 days, so I'm not sure if I can join, but hopefully Neela Govind Prabhuji can join or uh, other devotees on this call if they can make sure we have discussions so that we don't lose touch. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji. His Grace Guru Shilas Prabhuji ki
All
jai.
devotees ki jai. Jai
Jai.
Srila
Ramayatram
Prabhupada.
Prabhu, Nick Prabhu, Bhaskar
Jai.
Prabhu, Swati Mataji, Deepali Mataji, Namananda Prabhu, Krishna Mataji, All devotees ki jai.
Ki
Shri
jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Bala Gopal Das Babuji ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Rame Pran.